Imagine you run an organization that raises funds for children in need of life-saving organ transplants, or one that builds homes for people who have lost theirs in a natural disaster. Or let's pretend for a moment that you are an executive director for an organization that converts unused inner-city plots of land into community gardens. Each of these examples has an overall mission, but is supporting individual projects, people, or campaigns that have their own unique stories and fundraising goals. Now imagine if there is a way to create and manage microsites for each of these stories that are all still connected to the parent organization. And what if it were possible to integrate that solution with a fundraising platform such as Donor Perfect? Are you interested in seeing and hearing more about the solution? Join us for a brief demonstration on a product that will allow an organization that uses Donor Perfect to create, manage, maintain, and distribute microsites to each of its campaigns. At that point, individual campaign managers can use the site as a fundraising tool by sharing news, photos, and upcoming events. All right, let's get started. We'll take the example of community gardens and a fictitious organization called Friends of Urban Farms. This organization seeks out unused inner-city plots of land and converts them to a community garden that is maintained and sustained by neighborhood volunteers. Each plot of land is unique. They vary in size and location around the city. Each one tells a story and requires a specific amount of donations and number of volunteers. For this reason, it makes sense for each garden to have its own fundraising microsite where it can discuss the progress being made by sharing news, photos, and most importantly, fundraising goals. It can also feature upcoming events, whether they be fundraising or volunteer opportunities. In the past, these individual campaigns may have all used the different third-party platforms of their choosing, which can be a nightmare for the overall organization in terms of brand cohesion, control, and messaging. However, with the solution we've built, the organization can keep all of these campaign microsites organized and integrated seamlessly with their Donor Perfect account. Each campaign can tell their own story and work toward reaching their individual fundraising goals while using a content management solution that is centralized to their overall organization. Let's take a look at exactly how this works. Each organization would have what we'll call a super administrator who will set up the different accounts or campaigns as they are needed. Here you will see your list of campaigns. We have 2 showing here for this demonstration. Let's add a third. This is where the Donor Perfect integration comes in. These records pull directly from the accounts you've created in Donor Perfect. For example, I know that if I've created an account for a garden on Brookside, I can search for that here. And there it is. This is one of the first places where you will see how our software is unique. You can see on the top half of this page the information that is pulled in directly from Donor Perfect. On the bottom portion of this page, you can enter in the information for this campaign as you want it to appear in this system. Here we are back at the Super Administrator dashboard. Now let's dive into the content management feature of our software. As a Super Administrator, you can log into any of the campaign sites. However, the goal is to have each campaign manager be responsible for their specific microsite. They will have their own login, which will give them access to just their site. But for this demonstration, we will just log in as the Super Administrator. Now we are viewing what the campaign manager would see upon logging in. The dashboard gives a brief overview of ways to get started, as well as recent activity. Let's go through each of these sections quickly before we show you the public-facing microsite. Our story is meant to give an overview of the campaign along with a photo. This is what appears on the homepage and is the only required section of the campaign site. Next is the blog. This is where campaign managers can post news and other updates about their campaign. There's also the ability for campaign managers to post upcoming events that are relevant to their cause. They can input when and where the event is, a cover and banner image, and additional details about the event. The campaign manager also can add photo galleries to their site. This serves as a way for them to organize their photos into albums for their supporters to see and share. The Documents section is where campaign managers can upload and store documents that they wish to link to or distribute. Next, we are going to look at how the campaign manager can customize the sidebar of their site, which you will see in a moment. Here they can decide what information they want to appear on the sidebar and in what order they want it to appear. They can also decide if they want to filter by the most recently added items or handpick which event or gallery they want to promote in the sidebar. The General Settings area is where the campaign manager can put their contact information that they wish to display on the website. This is also where they can link to any social media accounts that are dedicated to this campaign. The icon for each of those accounts will appear in the header of their website. The last section is dedicated to providing support resources for the campaign manager, including a detailed document on how to use all of the features available to them. Alright, now that we have seen how this side of the microsite works, let's take a look at what the general public will see. And here you go. Let's quickly break down what you are looking at here and how it correlates to the content management system as well as Donor Perfect. Here at the top, you'll see the logo for the organization itself, which in this case is Friends of Urban Farms. Underneath that is the name of the campaign. We're going with the street address for the gardens, but this could be any name you choose for the campaign. Over here are links to any social media accounts related to this specific campaign, which you can update through the general settings. The navigation that appears here correlates to the information that the campaign manager adds. For example, if there are no photo galleries, then the photos link would simply not appear here. Next is our story, which is the only bit of content that any microsite is required to have. Under that is the activity feed, whether it be new blog posts, photo galleries, or events added. At the bottom of the page is the contact information and overall organization information. Now, let's go back up to the top and look at the sidebar. This block of information is pulled in directly from Donor Perfect. This is real-time information about the campaign, and most importantly, the funds that have been raised in effort to reach their goal. The Give Now button links directly to that specific campaign's donate page on Donor Perfect. Under that are buttons for individuals to share this campaign directly on their own social media accounts. Then, the information below that is optional and based on the settings and content that the campaign manager has put into place. You have your list of contributors, a featured event, and a featured photo gallery. The navigation at the top is your way to dive deeper into the campaign site. The blog will show you the recent posts. The events will show you any upcoming events. You can see all of the details of this single event, including directions, the ability to add it to your personal calendar, as well as the ability to share it via social outlets. And lastly, you have your photo albums, where you can see all your photos organized into easy-to-browse galleries. The campaign sites are responsive as well, making them optimized for screens of any size, including phones and tablets. So as you can see, this solution allows for each campaign manager to tell their individual story as they raise funds for their specific campaign. And now that you've seen how MultiGive works, we encourage you to think about if this solution is one that would provide value to your organization. If you think it might, we encourage you to visit multigive.com and fill out an inquiry.